What if the empty feeling in your heart is not sadness, but a signal from heaven? What if the money problem you're facing now is not the end of your story, but a test before God releases overflowing wealth into your life? Watch closely. Because if you are experiencing even O&E of these 7 signs, your life is about to change forever. There are moments when a person feels a restlessness inside their spirit, an inner stirring that cannot be explained by human logic. You wake up in the morning, look at your life and say, "This cannot be all that God has planned for me." You feel a divine dissatisfaction, a sense that something greater is coming, but you do not yet know what it is. This is one of the strongest signs that God is preparing to release overflowing wealth in your life. When God wants to take His child into a season of abundance, He first disrupts their comfort. What once felt normal suddenly feels too small. What once satisfied you suddenly becomes a burden. This is not frustration, it is spiritual preparation. A seed planted under the soil is not buried to die. It is placed there to break so that life can come out of it. The darkness around you is not punishment, it is preparation. When the seed breaks, growth begins. In the same way, when your routines begin to break, when your plans begin to fail, when the system around you begins to shift, it is often a sign that God is saying, "I am preparing something greater." Do not settle, prepare to receive. Many people mistake this season and think God is punishing them, when in truth, heaven is rearranging the furniture of their life to make space for something much bigger. Your spirit begins to see doors that do not yet exist. You start thinking of ideas that you never thought before. You feel an urge to learn, to grow, to move forward. You begin to notice opportunities you ignored in the past. It is like your spiritual antenna becomes more sensitive. This is because God is stretching your capacity to receive wealth. Before God can put abundance in your hand, He increases the capacity of your heart. If you are feeling this stretching, do not ignore it. It is heaven trying to wake you up. During this time, people might not understand you. They may think you are restless for no reason, but they do not hear what you hear. They do not see what you see. Noah heard something no one else heard: rain. He built something no one else built: an ark. Do not expect everyone to understand your season. When God is preparing you for wealth, He may pull you away from certain company, certain habits, and certain environments. Isolation does not mean abandonment. It means God wants a private conversation with you. In prayer, God will start giving you clarity. You will feel prompted to make changes, to organize your finances, to think differently about your time, to study subjects that prepare you for the future. You may feel the need to sow seeds or help someone even when you don't know why. But that is God moving your hand to where your harvest will grow. He will also begin disconnecting you from things that are limiting your future. Your heart will start feeling heavy toward unproductive places and drawn to places that carry purpose. This inner restlessness is the doorway to divine strategy. It is the starting point of overflowing wealth. When this stirring begins, lift your hands and say, "Lord, I am ready. Do not let me miss this season." Because if you surrender your plans, God will reveal His plans, and His plans always bring overflow. This inner shift leads directly to the second sign. God begins to open unexpected doors that no human could open. When the heart is ready, heaven releases access. When God prepares to release wealth into your life, He begins to unlock doors that were previously closed, and sometimes doors you never knew existed. Suddenly, new opportunities appear. You meet new people. Ideas come that you never thought of before. You begin to see possibilities where before you saw limitations. This is not luck, this is divine strategy. Heaven never prepares something great without first opening a pathway to reach it. You may receive a phone call from someone you haven't spoken to in years. A message arrives from someone interested in working with you. A small idea comes to your mind late at night. That idea could become the foundation of a great business. When the grace of wealth approaches your life, connections begin to appear. Do not ignore them. These are not random events. They are keys in the hand of God. And when God gives you a key, it is foolish to keep it in your pocket. You must use it to open the door. But here is the important thing. New doors require new courage. Many people receive opportunities from God, but let them pass by because fear stands in the way. The enemy knows he cannot stop God's plan, so he tries to stop your confidence. When a new door opens, fear will say, "What if you fail?" But faith will say, "What if this is the moment everything changes?" Wealth is not always released in a miracle. It is often released in a decision. When God is about to elevate you, He will frequently bring someone into your life who carries knowledge you don't have, wisdom you need, or favor you could not earn. These are divine connections. You must discern them, honor them, and value them, because sometimes your blessing is not in what you know, but who you know. A single mentorship, a single conversation, a single connection can accelerate your journey 10 years ahead. God does not always speed up time, but He often sends people to speed up destiny. The Bible tells many stories of divine connections. Joseph met the cupbearer in prison, and that connection eventually brought him before Pharaoh. David met Samuel, and that connection launched his kingship. Esther met the king, and that connection saved her nation. When God wants to bring wealth into your life, He will send favor through people. That is why you must treat every conversation carefully. You never know when you are speaking to a key. But remember, opportunities are often disguised as small tasks. God may not give you the final assignment immediately. He may give you a small instruction. If you follow it, the bigger plan unfolds. A farmer does not receive a field overnight. He receives a seed. A seed always looks small, but inside it is a forest. God will test your obedience before He releases your abundance. And this obedience leads directly into the next sign. When God wants to bless you with overflowing wealth, He begins to accelerate everything around you. There are seasons when everything begins to move faster than before. What usually took months suddenly happens in days. What once required effort now flows with ease. Your ideas come swiftly. Tasks get completed quickly. Doors open rapidly. This is not coincidence, this is divine acceleration. When God is preparing to release overflowing wealth into your life, He shifts your pace. He changes your season. He places you under a supernatural current that begins pushing you forward with unusual strength. It feels like wind behind your back, carrying you effortlessly. What you used to pray for, you now walk in. What you used to dream about, you now live in. This is the dimension where grace works harder than effort. In this season, you will realize that your hard work is important, but it is not your real power. Your true strength is not in your ability, but in God's timing. Hard work can bring progress, but only God's favor can bring acceleration. But we must understand something very important. Acceleration requires alignment. If a ship does not set its sail properly, strong wind will not help. It will destroy. The wind of favor only benefits those who are positioned correctly. That is why in this season, God will begin to align your life. He will make you let go of distractions. He will make you separate your time from unproductive activities. You will start to value your hours more. You will start to use your energy wisely, because overflowing wealth requires focus. During acceleration, God will also give you clarity. You will begin to feel clear direction about decisions that were confusing before. Suddenly, you will know what to do. You will see your vision more clearly. God is not just increasing your speed, He is sharpening your aim. A fast arrow with no target is useless. So God will give you precision. You will begin to know which ideas to pursue and which to ignore, which partnerships to accept and which to reject. Clarity is a signal of incoming blessing. But as things accelerate, God will also test your attitude. Many people lose their blessing because they cannot handle success. Pride begins to grow. They forget the source of their strength. They start trusting in their own abilities. But that is dangerous, because the same wind that lifts a person can also scatter them. That is why God looks at the heart. He asks, will you still be humble when I lift you? If the answer is yes, then the acceleration continues. This season teaches us that wealth is not just about money, it is about responsibility. It is about stewardship. It is about managing resources that belong to God. And when you understand this, you will walk in deeper wisdom. You will treat money as a tool, not as a master. You will treat wealth as a mission, not as a trophy. And when this maturity develops in your life, it leads directly to the next sign, a season of divine instruction. Because God will not just accelerate your journey, He will start speaking to you more clearly than ever before. When God prepares to release overflowing wealth into your life, one of the clearest signs is that your spirit becomes more sensitive to His voice. You begin to receive guidance, direction, and wisdom that you never had before. Ideas come while you pray. Solutions arrive while you rest. You notice patterns you ignored in the past. God begins to show you how to structure, how to build, how to invest, how to create. This is divine instruction. The difference between people who succeed and people who struggle is not always intelligence or talent. It is usually instruction. A person who hears from God has an advantage over the entire world. Heaven begins to whisper strategies that earth has not yet discovered. That is how great businesses are built, through insight. That is how solutions are created, through revelation. And when you are approaching divine wealth, God will give you revelation that transforms how you live and how you work. But divine instruction requires stillness. Many people pray, but do not listen. They speak, but do not wait. To hear God clearly, you must create quietness in your spirit. Not every noise is external. Sometimes the loudest noise is our fear, our anxiety, our doubts. When you silence those voices, God's voice becomes louder. In moments of stillness, a person can receive more direction in 1 minute than in 10 years of effort. This is why great miracles often begin in stillness. When instructions come, they might not make sense at first. God may tell you to start something small, to invest somewhere different, to help someone unexpected, or to save money when you feel like spending. These instructions might look unusual, but they carry future blessings. God will never instruct you without planning to reward you. Your obedience is never wasted. Instructions are seeds. Follow them and harvest will come. But instructions also require discipline. Wealth is not built in one day. It is developed through consistent obedience. If God shows you to study something, study faithfully. If He tells you to start saving, do it regularly. If He tells you to launch a project, move with courage. If He instructs you to sow into someone's life, do it with faith. The instruction may seem small, but it opens the door to something big. Destiny is hidden in details. This phase also teaches you to depend on God, not just on your own understanding. It trains your heart to walk by faith. It builds spiritual muscles in your decision making. And as your obedience increases, you will enter the final sign, the season of overflowing provision, where God releases what you have been preparing for all along. There comes a moment when preparation ends and manifestation begins. Everything you have prayed for, believed for, and worked for begins to unfold before your eyes. The divine restlessness, the open doors, the acceleration, the instructions, all of them lead to this moment, the manifestation of overflow. God begins to release resources into your life that exceed your expectations. Ideas start producing income. Investments begin to grow. Seeds begin to bear fruit. What looked impossible yesterday becomes your reality today. But overflow is not just financial, it is also spiritual, emotional, relational, and mental. God gives you peace that cannot be shaken, clarity that cannot be stolen, and strength that does not run out. He gives you relationships that uplift you, opportunities that stretch you, and platforms that honor you. Overflow means you have more than enough, not just for yourself, but to bless others, because the true purpose of divine wealth is impact, not just comfort. When God releases overflow, it is very important to understand why He does it. He does not bless you to make you proud. He blesses you to make you responsible. You become a carrier of His provision. Your life becomes a testimony. People look at you and realize that obedience produces results. Your story begins to encourage others. Your journey becomes a message. You no longer just talk about faith, you demonstrate it. But even in the overflow, humility must remain, because overflow is not the end, it is the beginning of a new assignment. God does not fill your cup just for you to drink. He fills it so that it overflows into someone else's life. You become a channel, not a container. You become a distributor, not a collector. And when God sees that He can trust you with wealth, He increases it even more. This stage also brings deeper joy. You no longer worry about the future because you know who holds it. You no longer panic about resources because you know the source. Confidence rises within you, not prideful confidence, but peaceful confidence. You are not anxious, you are focused. You are not afraid, you are ready. And this is true success, to live in abundance and yet walk in surrender. To receive provision and still depend on God. This is the moment when God looks at your life and says, now you are not just blessed, you are a blessing. And that is the ultimate sign that overflowing wealth has truly entered your life. Others begin to rise because of you. People find hope through your journey. Faith grows in their hearts as they see what God has done for you. And then They too enter their own season of restlessness, their own season of open doors, their own season of acceleration, their own season of instruction, and eventually their own season of overflow. Because what God begins in one life, He multiplies in many. That is the power of divine wealth. That is the purpose of overflow.